good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Nice, bright, sunny day finally after all that rain.
Yeah, but you know what? It's nice. It's like this perfect like morning. It's the birds are chirping and
I have this sun halo glow on me, right? Might also be a light box.
shh, we don't tell people that.
But look at it. Look, I have like this golden glow.
Perfect. I love it.
We'll take whatever we get, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week. Have you ever had one of those? It's been a week, and that pretty much describes your entire week. Yeah, it's one of those things that you have this whole perfect plan about what you're going to do, and then nothing happens.
Well, as you know, I just feel like we were here last Wednesday, and we were fine. The world was great.
Yeah.
And then I got hacked.
Yes.
So I just want to give just a little bit of information about that for anybody that has not been hacked, specifically by Facebook.
Yeah.
So we're not sure the root cause, but I just want to kind of do a little bit of a public service for anybody that's not getting hacked. So what they did, which was very interesting. So typically we hear stories of people getting hacked and they've taken your credit card, they've gone and bought things, online shopping. These charges aren't mine, whatever the case may be.
Which is simple and
normally
that's what people do. They just want to take your money and buy stuff.
Not these guys.
No,
they're a little different.
They just want to have fun.
You know what? And they did at my expense and my money. So it's very, very interesting. So what they did was they hacked into my Facebook ad account. So not my Facebook account. So typically what we also see is people who either duplicate accounts, they hack in and they send direct messages to all of your followers or your connections. Like that's another typical one with links to try to get you to sign up for something. And people constantly put my account's been hacked. Don't click on any links. Those direct messages are not mine.
We can deal with that.
Again, super normal stuff.
Yeah.
This I hadn't seen before. So what they did is they hacked into my ad account. They changed one of my ads to their information. So different picture, different targeting, different everything. And then they took the budget and they skyrocketed it for a day. So little charges started showing up on my credit card, but I didn't notice right away because typically with a credit card, your little charges, they don't flag until, there was like a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then all of a sudden I get a text. So if you do not have text alerts on your phone for credit card charges, I highly recommend you do it.
Yeah.
So a text thing came through and it said, do you approve this charge? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I clicked no. So they got shut down for the rest. So they tried to put through, I think about 8 or 10 charges after that.
Big ones like $1,200 and
I think my ad budget was like $8,000 for a day. Like on Facebook,
we don't normally spend that much in a day. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure big advertisers, absolutely. But basically it was sort of, Bitcoin, digital currency. They even targeted like Elon Musk, cars, like really interesting, like high-end financial. I didn't get a screenshot of the actual ad. I should have.
And just so you know, there is no net benefit to them other than, this is fun.
Well,
they learned how to hack.
Exactly. And it was I was a practice.
Yeah.
They created a Facebook page. So it actually looked legit, but so they assigned their page to my account and then ran the ad.
And so there's like a couple guys sitting in a basement somewhere, right? Going, this is this is fun. Let's just go ahead and hack, this random account in Canada.
But that was the funny part is that all of their targeting was U.S. states.
Yeah.
So it's not a U.S. account. No. So I just assume it was a practice. They were trying to figure it out. But so two things. Obviously called my bank right away. They shut down my credit card so no more charges could go through. No problem.
But
hang on, before I get to the but. And then so called my bank, blah, 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 trying to get them to deal with it. It went okay. They kind of took a little bit of time and they're saying they have to do an investigation because I have previously used Facebook as a vendor.
Right.
So because I've paid money to Facebook, there's no way for them to prove that that was not my charge. Okay, that's one half of the story, which we'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
So then the other half was I went right to Facebook. So I put in that I've been hacked. Here's the situation. Can you look into it at your end? You know, whatever. So you can, there's actually support. Like I know a lot of people are like, you can't get a hold of Facebook. You can with ad support. I guess that's where I'm very grateful that they hacked into my ad account. Because if you go into the ad manager and ad sort of support, there is a place where you can say contact support. And that's what I did. I contacted support. They called me right away, which I was shocked about. So again, this is a huge shout out to Facebook. They called me right away. What's the situation? Yes, we can see the changes. We see when they change, whatever. So of course, from their end, they want to know how they got in. Right. Because Facebook takes their security very seriously. So if somebody has hacked into an account, they want to know how that happened, especially an ad account. Yeah. Right? Because it's not just a customer. So there's two different types of people on Facebook, the ones that pay money and the ones that don't. And we were in the pay money. Like I spend money with Facebook, so I'm a paying customer. Yes. So they took it extremely seriously. So I was able to access it that way. And I think the thing that flagged me as well was somebody said, you know, reported our ad. And I'm like, yeah, our ad? What did we do? Yeah. So that was really good. So then
oh, I forgot about that part. I wasn't even thinking of that.
Oh, what were you thinking about?
No, just the fact that the bank was like, yeah, we can't help you.
Exactly, which is crazy. So, you know, as I call it the chapel way, you right to the top. Yeah. So I messaged the CEO on LinkedIn and I got a phone call within a few minutes saying, we will handle this for you. Can you send me any screenshots and proof that you have? And then I got another phone call saying, I'm going to personally handle this as well, and you can consider this case closed. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure. Now, it wasn't a ridiculous amount of money. It was only $2,000. So it wasn't $20,000. They didn't, you know, extort money out of me. I didn't send money to them. It wasn't a conscious decision. So I feel that those charges I shouldn't have to cover, right? Because they can probably get it. And then I also look at the fact that Facebook did own up. Yeah. And they said, I talked to two different people and they owned up that number one, yes, you were hacked into. We see the suspicious activity. We're closing down your ad account. No problem. It was already somewhere else, so not a big deal. Yeah. And then they said that if your credit card doesn't cover the charges, we will reimburse you. Right.
So let's be realistic about why they want to reimburse her, because Facebook does not want to be known for getting hacked, because the way they make their money is ads. So if you have no faith in them anymore, you're not going to put ads. So they don't want this information out that we're telling everybody that you can get hacked. And so that's number one. And then the other one is, you know, shame on the banks. Like they should immediately say, you know what, we're going to look at it and give you the money and that's it. Shouldn't have to, even though I totally promote this every chance I get, you shouldn't have to message the CEO of a company. But so to me, sorry, CEO, and I'm not going to mention the name, but to me, that's a leadership piece. If you have not given your people enough power to be able to make those decisions, shame on you. Yeah. Because you need to empower them to be able to say, you know what, this is legit. We need to be able to answer this concern now, because $2,000 might not be anything to a bank, but to an individual, it's huge.
That's a lot of money.
So, you know, so if you ever do have issues, like we've always said, just message the right person, because if you message the CEO, they're going to fix your problem. I would say 99% of the time. There was only one time that I didn't get a response. Yeah. And that was it. Only once in all the years that I've, you know, if I've ever had an issue and gone to the top. So, but it is a cautionary tale in that number one is if you are doing that, you should have text alerts on because like yes. I don't. So it would take me like a month to see that somebody, you know, if my bank didn't call me, I wouldn't even know.
So thank goodness. So I was able to shut them down. I do have proof of them continually trying to put money on. I do have proof that Facebook has flagged it as suspicious activity. The only thing I don't have is the actual ad because
Right.
it was gone so fast.
Right.
So well done, hackers.
Yeah.
You got in.
Did you move along and do something else now? It wasn't fun. We didn't have a fun
Exactly.
experience. We're not sitting there laughing in your basement with you.
No.
So what unfortunately what it does is it screws up your entire week because you spent the whole day or 2 days trying to solve it. And then you've also shut down all your business funnels because the ads aren't running.
Yeah.
So
I think I was angry. Like you feel violated, even though this one was a little, I want to think about the level of people hacking. This one was a little bit better in the whole grand scheme of things. I was glad I was able to shut them down. And again, if you ever get hacked or anything ever happens in your account, immediately take screenshots. Because you need that proof for them. So thank goodness I had the screenshots. And I also had the screenshots of the multiple charges that they were trying to put through afterwards. So the bank was able to quickly see that, no, it wasn't me. However, the only challenge that I had was, yes, I had paid money to Facebook in the past. So how do I know that this charge is legit and this charge isn't?
Yeah,
so
normally,
that's the difficult part.
Normally, most banks, they just believe you right away, right? So it's tough because, you're right. They see another charge there. The only people that I can honestly say would shut it down in a heartbeat and believe you is Amex, because they are Amex doesn't believe you most of the time. They're calling the store going, is this legitimate person there? Because they don't like giving money to anybody. So but most of the Visas and MasterCards are usually pretty good. So now that you know this experience, it's not, I would assume the bank would just go, no problem, we'll just reverse it. I didn't expect them to say, well, we have to look into it and investigate and do all that stuff. So because you acted so quickly, I didn't, and the charges were so out of ordinary. If you just looked at
if you look at the history, exactly,
it's not there. So it's a good.
So they shut down, like you said, they shut down funnels, they shut down business, they shut down my ad account. Now, again, make sure that you have copies. This is again, make sure you have copies of your ads and your ad sets. Because if something does happen, this is what they'll do is they'll shut everything down. You don't have access anymore.
And for those of you, like for Facebook, we were doing learnings, like we were trying to target different audiences, see the difference. And all of a sudden, when everything gets shut down, you're kind of like, okay, now
don't
what
make
do
me start
we do?
all over. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Because it takes you forever. It's kind of like, I know you guys, have you ever done a newsletter or a blog or whatever, and you didn't save it, and you spent like 3 or 4 hours on it, and then like it like your internet went out or something, and it's gone, and then So, but I always think the second time is always you write it is always better.
You have to think that way.
You have to. Maybe it's just me. I just make myself think that. But
and an email goes away, and I'm like, okay, well, the second time's always better.
But then the second time's always shorter.
And very, very concise and very to the point. So if you get a long-winded, it went through the first time. If you get a really short one, it was the second chance.
Because you're just like, to hell with this. This is all I need to write. It's true.
So after a couple of days of, reissuing, because of course when credit cards are canceled, you have to, who has your credit card? I had to go into all my sites. And now I have to go in and replace my credit card. And I think the biggest issue was, I was joking with her. I was like, oh, who has my credit card? Amazon.
Oh no.
Prime Day is coming.
I can't hit one finger, one click. I can't do it.
It's a sad state of affairs. I was like, no, because of course it is Prime Day.
Yeah, speaking of, it's Prime Day yesterday and today. And we love Amazon Prime Day because there are some really good sales. In particular, if you want any Alexa stuff or Fire Sticks or, any of that. Oh yeah, I shouldn't say that.
Sorry, I'm leaning over to see if she got activated.
Because if you say that name too loud, all of our devices go off.
The A word.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So lots of great deals. Really even just like regular stuff, a lot of stuff are 20% off. If you go on Amazon, there's a Prime Day over there. If you see anything really cool, electronics or anything that looks fun, let us know.
Yeah, because we're all in. Yeah, we bought a few things. I think we bought some wireless mics for our iPhone, bought a gimbal, bought a few other cool things that were, gimbal wasn't on sale, but the mics were. Yeah. And, it's just good. What I really noticed this year, which was interesting, is that all the other companies that are having big sales, because they know you're online. Yeah. So all AppSumo sales are today. All the retailers like Old Navy, all those guys, they all threw in sales. Because obviously they know you're shopping online for Amazon. So they're like, well, hey, we'll do a 40% off because like you're online anyway.
So smart.
Very smart.
Smart for them.
Very smart. So it's great. I mean, it's a great opportunity. If you guys, so here's your thing. If you're really thinking of, I'm finally going to make videos for my business, or I'm finally going to, start recording, and you've been putting off buying a cute, cool Yeti mic, right? Something like that. Now's the day to do it. We're not giving you links, so we're not making commission here. But so go ahead and jump on it, because like anything from 20 to 40% off for most of them is really worth it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So jump on it for sure, because it's the one time that you can like kind of say, oh well, I really need it and it's on sale.
It's Prime Day.
It's Prime Day.
Yes, my friend sent me a text yesterday. She's like, okay, what do I need to buy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this, because I know what she needs and she has and all that kind of stuff. So she's like, what do I need?
Yeah. So if you need to upgrade your laptop, or upgrade your webcam, your mic, anything.
But it's not just electronics.
No, it's everything.
That's just our
it's our thing.
That's our thing. But there's like fashion.
Yeah.
Basically anything. I think somebody was like diapers were on sale.
Everything.
Like really random things that you can get on Amazon. A lot of it's on sale. So have fun.
Yeah. So if you go to Amazon, you hit, we're giving them so much press, but if you go to Amazon, you hit Prime Day deals, I think it is the tab, everything shows up, all the different categories. And if you're an Amazon person, it's kind of custom to you. So the stuff that you've been looking at shows
and they're
up.
Recommending stuff, which is not good.
Yeah. So, and I was we were working all day yesterday, and we bought a couple things in the morning, and then last night, I literally brought my laptop to bed because I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy some stuff. I'm really tired. And so I put it up, but I never got there because I fell asleep.
That's good. You slept.
I slept. Yay.
She doesn't even need coffee. She slept.
No,
tea.
I already had coffee though, so that doesn't really count. So anyway, so last week was a little hectic, and then
we started Gia.
So our summer school started last week. We're on week 2, which is a really big one today, because it's all about signature message, and it's all about understanding whether people understand what you do so that they can actually hire you.
What a concept.
Yeah.
So last week, everyone's just getting started. So if you have been thinking about it, putting it off, thinking, oh, well, they've already begun, it's all good. We didn't even do introductions last week because we wanted to wait till this week.
Yeah.
So really fun. Loved meeting all of the new students. And then, of course, some of our veterans, our returning students came back as well. So it was good to see them again. And the new ones just, how do we get started? So last week literally was just the introduction. They kind of logged in, started to work because we have our study lounge. And then they were asking questions, and we were just going through, giving them some tips that we've heard in the past about, time management and how people have gotten through it, and how to, just basically go through an online course. Because a lot of people don't necessarily know some of those tips on how to actually go through an online course, and, printing off manuals versus notebooks. And we had like lots of different discussion around that. But this week we actually get to officially meet them. So I'm looking forward to introductions today, because yes, we sort of met them and saw them and all of that stuff, but now they actually get to introduce themselves, so we get to know what they do. Yeah,
which is great. I mean, it's very exciting, and it's exciting to see, the transition. So from last week till, it's only 8 weeks, and people launch a lot of different things for their business in 8 weeks, which is great. They might launch their podcast or their speaking career or their YouTube channel. There's so much that they can accomplish in 8 weeks. So if you're thinking about it, the nice thing, even if you're on vacation, you can do the modules on your phone, because there is an app.
Yep.
And so there really isn't, you don't have to wait. There's no reason not to start, because you can start. You can even go through some things, and then we're actually doing a live school in the fall.
Yep.
So you can join us at that time as well, because you have access for live. So as long as we're running it, you can visit all of our live Q&As and live coaching for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
so that's great. G is on a roll. Our summit in our Forest 17 company has now officially been launched in terms of registering. So if you go to forest17.co, you can register for our live summit. And we've talked briefly about it, but it's very, very different and unique. It's a total health and wellness summit. It's about self-care. But it really goes down to, we asked our experts, if you could spend one glorious day in the forest, what would you do to feel better? And so they have tailored a masterclass or a workshop around it. So this is not an interview series. It's not a speech. It is literally you participating. It might be a yoga class, a meditation class, it might be a manifestation class or an intuition, whatever it is, but it's outside in nature. So it's free. There's over 35 different classes that you'll be able to take over the 5 days. And you don't want to miss it. It's August 22nd, we start, 5 days. Again, absolutely free. So we want you to join because this is for you, right? Yeah. This is just for you. There's no, you don't have to lay out any money.
No force necessary.
No force
necessary.
So
if you have a backyard, if you have a deck, if you have a park nearby, if you have a piece of grass, or even just look at nature on your TV.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, lots of really great submissions. So really excited about a lot of the speakers. We're still getting new ones. And it's really interesting to see how they approach that question.
Yeah.
Right. What would they do? Well, this is what I would do. And again, they're going to allow you to experience a class with them rather than just talk about it, which is really cool. So what a great way to end the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just do some self-care. I know a lot of people relax in the summer, but really
this is relaxing.
It's fantastic. Like really focus on you at the end of August. And, then you can kick it into high gear in September if you have kids and they go back to school, or if you think of September as the new January, whatever the case may be, and you get into work mode, this is a great opportunity to really end the summer on the right note. And
there's an option to, grab the replays as well, so you can watch them forever. And again, they're master classes, so they're actually something that you can enjoy over and over again, not just information from an interview. We have, if you go to our front page, we've listed, maybe 10 or 12 speakers. You'll see a whole slew more tomorrow, because Thursday is when our girl actually will put them all up and populate more of the page.
Sorry.
So we have a lot already done. But if there is somebody that you're like, I would really love to do a class with this person, or you yourself, if you think you have something to offer, then go ahead, go to forest17.co, go down the page, and you'll see a section that says become a speaker or call for speakers. And then you'll get to another page, which will tell you how you can go ahead and apply. Just, if you're thinking about it, or somebody, tell them to do it now, because we are filling up.
Yep.
And there's a few spots, but if you have something unique to share, we would love to put you out there.
Or if you have a topic that you don't think is covered, and you look at all the speakers and you go, oh, you know what, I would love this. Great. Let us know that. And
we'll reach out.
Yeah. I've reached out to different people, and you know what? It's been really interesting to reach out to a stranger to kind of go, I see you have this kind of expertise. And then they look at the summit and they're like, wow, that's actually really cool. I want to participate. So a lot of people from literally all ends of the earth, like from all over the world. Like it's so interesting. Not just sort of a North America. We think we live in Canada, but that doesn't mean that our speakers are from Canada. They're from the US. They're from overseas. They're from
France and UK,
Australia. Yeah. I think there's one. Costa Rica. I don't know. Everywhere. I can't even keep track. It's crazy. So I'm really excited.
And so that's what we're doing this week. We're working on the summit. We're we're getting our Facebook ads and everything up and running properly
in my new ad account.
But what was interesting was it all so as much as painful as it was, it also made us, okay, we have to shift focus for a day or two because we can't do anything on that side.
Yeah.
So it enabled us to do some things that we weren't going to get to till, later on. And so we managed to get it done. So that was cool, right?
Always taking advantage. I mean, so I just want to just quickly talk about Friday. the Rogers outage.
Oh,
As I wait for dramatic pause.
I thought you meant this Friday.
No,
And I'm
last
like,
Friday,
oh.
because I think I just want to give you kudos because you know what? There's people who went crazy. Like,
Crazy.
oh my goodness, what do? I don't have internet. There's people, I mean, I'm sure anybody who lives in Canada. So for those of you in the US, we had a outage of one of our carriers. So Rogers.
Really, there's only 3.
Yeah. So
and the biggest one.
it was a
probably.
big one. And everything was shut down, including they couldn't even make a 911 call if they wanted to. So there
Couldn't
was
buy things at the bank. Couldn't get money. It was just couldn't
get
interact.
You could debit was down. Everything. Basically, the world stopped.
Yeah.
For lack of better. So there was 2 ways to approach it. There was the one way where people were freaking out. They were taking their phones, like the footage, the news footage of people hovering around coffee shop windows, trying to get Wi-Fi, doing anything, trying to figure out. They would go grocery shopping and realize they couldn't pay. They were freaking out. I can't get a hold of my boss because, of course, if you think about like here, the internet is Rogers, your phones were Rogers, data was Rogers, so
TVs,
there was everything was Rogers, cable, so you couldn't get a hold of anybody. You couldn't watch the news.
They even canceled the Weekend's concert, which was like at Scotia,
crazy,
which was massive concert. Oh, Rogers Center, sorry, massive concert.
That should be like the word that flows the best out of your mouth.
I know.
Anyway, interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was crazy, and people were just they were literally having meltdowns. And then there was the other half. I wouldn't even say half. The very small few,
like me,
like Faye, like and you know what? I thought this was actually really brilliant because she took the day because she couldn't do anything. Like she couldn't even, we couldn't even text.
No.
Like there was no way for her to access any sort of anything. Our entire business is online.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I went on a Sea-Doo ride for like 2 hours. I just said, what can I do today? Oh, I guess I can't. And I was not upset the entire day. The only thing that upset me a tiny bit was I couldn't get a hold of my kid who was in Toronto.
Right.
But I knew he'd be fine. He'd figure everything out. But I literally just said, what can I do? Oh, we'll go on the Sea-Doo. And that was it. We went. It was a beautiful day. Yeah. Big, long Sea-Doo ride, 2 hours up and down the Georgian Bay, right? Up and down the coast of Tiny Beaches Road, for those of you who know Georgian Bay. And it was phenomenal.
Yeah. Like what a great way to look at a very big problem and look at it as an opportunity instead of, oh my goodness, you could be stressing all day. I can't get a hold of people. It was shut down. There was nothing anyone could do.
And it didn't matter because people who were stressed about, oh, I have a call. Well, the other person isn't there either.
They can't call you.
It doesn't matter. Right?
I was like, I couldn't get hold of my boss.
Great. Cool. Like take advantage. The only thing, I mean, I didn't like on the channels, like if you had a feed from Bell, then you knew that there was information coming out from the hospitals that they were saying anyone who's on call, come in. Right. Because we don't really need you, but we can't get a hold of you if we do.
If there's a problem. Yeah, exactly.
So, but it was really interesting that, for conspiracy theorists out there, they think it was a test of what would happen if we shut down all the service. So if you believe in that, that's cool. But
we found out people are addicted to the internet.
Yeah.
And their phones.
Yeah.
So that was a good test. We now know that.
Well, what's interesting that came out yesterday from the government of Canada, which I thought was like shockingly brilliant, which I don't normally say that about anything that comes out of the government, but they put in a policy now they're working on right now that they've said to the other 2 carriers, if this ever happens, you guys have to have a backup system to be able to take your competitors, whatever customers, and be able to at least give them emergency services.
Yeah.
So there's a backup in place. I thought that was phenomenal. And you know what? I think all the carriers would be like jumping all over it because they might go, well, hey, maybe they'll eventually come over to us. So it's a really great thing for everyone. Yeah. And I did like the fact that I will say Bell did not gloat, which was shocking because your first instinct for the competitors is like, we're cool, we're up, come over here. But they didn't gloat because it could have happened to them.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
So before everyone gets up in their arms and goes, oh, it's Rogers, it could have happened. Just like the Facebook account got hacked, right? It could have happened to your Facebook account. And no matter what you did, she had, two-step verification. She had everything in the account and she still got hacked.
Yeah.
So
they're smart. Like there's no way around it. And like I said, good for them because I had everything in place. And I'm sure Rogers, had a lot of security in place.
Yeah, and
they
they had all their stuff. They said like they have all these redundancy pieces where if one piece goes down, it's okay. The other one's supposed to kick in, but nothing kicked in.
Exactly.
But worse than nothing because I've never ever seen when it affected your emergency in carriers.
Crazy.
Because even when you don't have, like if you have a cell bill and you didn't pay it and they cut off your data, they leave your emergency stuff on because that's law. Yeah. They have to leave that on, but there was nothing to leave on. Anyways, the Sea-Doo ride was beautiful.
Exactly. So, and that's just when you have an emergency like that, take the high road and go have fun for the day.
Yeah.
Because you can't get hold of your boss, and that's sometimes a good thing.
And then what's interesting as well? There was the weekends.
It was a week.
Yeah.
Can we mention that? It was a crazy week.
Yeah. The weekend's concert was canceled, but Keith Urban at Budweiser stage continued. So you never know. So different people have different ways to be able to continue doing their business. So, and Keith Urban was amazing, by the way. We went the next night.
It was really
so even though some people still didn't have service, we didn't care. We were at the concert.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, hopefully this next week is better.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing our GA people this afternoon, and
the rest of you at the summit. So just sign up.
Yes, and just put that out there again, 417.co. Sign up.